Hello students, today is Friday, December the 15th, 2014, and here are your announcements. Well, we've finally gotten here. Our end of course tests are next week. Those tests will be in biology, chemistry, English 1, 2, and 3. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. Just do your best. Do your very best on them. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that here in a minute. So how do you know if you did your best? Well, one way to know is if you're taking an untimed test and get the test done in 10 minutes and just sit there and look around really mean at everybody else for taking so long on the test, then you probably did not do your best. Another way to know whether you did your best or not is did you read every question just one time, mark an answer, and then blow through it? Or did you take your time, read the question, consider the answers carefully, and mark that you feel like it's the correct answer? That's another way. Right now, are you thinking, I just want to get this over with, or would I rather, am I looking forward to proving myself on this day? If you're thinking about proving yourself, then you're probably going to do your best. If you're looking forward to just getting it over with, then you're probably not going to do your best. So, those are 3 ways to know whether you did your best or not. So what are the EOC tests like? Well, they're a lot like, exactly like the practice test you can access online. They're a lot like the practice stuff that your teachers have been giving you in your classes over the course of the semester. So there's really no surprises. There are multiple choice questions, and you just have to select the best answer. So don't be scared of the test. The hardest part is the bubbling part, which you have to tell her in the bubble, but really it's only hard for like a 5-year-old. It should be pretty easy for you. But that's it. Getting to the test location may be the hardest part, but doing the test itself, you guys are more than prepared for these tests. So I want you to kind of feel confident going into it, but not overly confident. I mean, you're going to have to think and it's going to challenge you, but you're ready. You can do this. I hate to come off negative at all, but here's some things that I've seen in the past that I don't want to see. First of all, I don't want to see students blowing through the test and having like an hour to just sit there. You should have that test booklet open, going through your answers, checking, double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking, quintuple checking, until everybody's done. Your proctor will know when you're done. They'll see you like finish and close your book and then open it again. So I don't want people just blowing through and then just wasting the time that they're given there. There's too much at stake. Another thing I don't want to see is when I get the test results back, if you make a certain score, that tells me that you didn't do anything on the test at all. They give you a certain score that indicates that the student just didn't even try. If I see that again, I'm going to call people out on it, because there's, again, too much at stake. It's 25% of your grade. It's 50% of your teacher's evaluation. It's 50% of my evaluation, and 100% of how our school is labeled to the entire world via the state report card. Even somebody that breathes, if you can breathe oxygen, which all of you can score higher than the very bottom score. So if I get any more bottom scores, I'm calling people out, because it really affected a lot of teachers' data last year for our school. It affected students' grades, so I don't want to see that anymore. Just know that I know. But I don't want to be negative about that. There's only like 3 or 4 kids, and those 3 or 4 kids are actually still at Cox for some reason. But I'll be looking for that again. So what is your responsibility here? Your only responsibility is to do your best. And again, I went over what doing our best is. Sitting there, not doing anything for an hour is not doing your best. Okay, so there are certain behaviors that can tell us whether you're doing your best. But your responsibility, first of all, is to yourself. 25% of your grade is a big chunk. So you really need to do your best on these tests so you get the best possible grade for your class, because you don't want to spend all this time and all of this work over the semester and then just blow it because you had a bad attitude about a test one day. Now, we can get into the debate of whether, one test on one day should blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. We don't make the rules are made for us, and so that's just what has to happen. The next responsibility you have is to your teacher, and you need to do your best for them because they've done their best for you. And it's 50% of how they are evaluated, which is a huge professional thing. You get a score of 1 to 5. So not only are you getting grades in your class, but your teachers are in essence getting graded based on how you do. If you don't like your teacher, it's not a good time to get revenge on them by doing poorly on a test, because of your third responsibility, which is me, is 50% of my evaluation on how well you do on these tests. So if you're not giving your best, then you're letting me down. And then the fourth one is how the school is seen by the entire world based on the state report card that the state puts out that are tied directly to these tests. So you have a responsibility to do your best so how our school is seen on the entire world. Now, if you're thinking about, well, I don't like myself very much, I don't like my teacher, I certainly don't like Dr. Horn, and I hate this school, you should still do your best because everybody should always do their best at everything all the time. But if you're in that sort of predicament, you need probably other help. Maybe. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the Claymore designed lightsaber on Star Wars, and I think that those criticisms are probably unfair. It looks really cool, and I can't wait for the new Star Wars movie to come out. And keep in mind, the first Star Wars movie was made before I was even born. It was made in 1977, and I was born in 78. So it's a long time running for a movie. The end of the semester is officially December the 19th, but teachers have to have grades in by that morning, so I guess the end of the semester is actually December the 17th, because that's the last day teachers can take work, so make sure you have it all in by then, unless there's a special circumstance you've already discussed with us. If you have a special circumstance and you need, the 18th, please let us know, and you'll need some sort of documentation for that. But if you have questions about that, just ask your teacher and they'll tell you exactly, what their requirements are. Especially if it's like essays and stuff, you don't want to turn a bunch in the 17th. So start turning work in now. Don't save it all and turn it in at one time. So good luck on your EOCs next week. Again, do your very best. Don't stress over it too much. Stress over it just a little bit, because you do need to do your best. You need to be focused that day. You need to get a good night's sleep beforehand. You need to eat breakfast that morning. You need to do all of those things. So best of luck on those.